Did you know that you can easily start a fundraiser on your Facebook page to collect funds for the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute? It's quick and easy and costs you nothing. So whether it's your birthday, anniversary, or you just want to help collect money for one of your favorite charities, follow these easy 6 steps to get started. Step 1. Simply navigate to the Foundation and Institute page at facebook.com/Ronald Reagan. Step 2. Click on the Fundraisers tab underneath the main page photo. Step 3. Click Raise Money in the Create a Fundraiser section. Step 4. Set up your fundraiser. You can use the default settings or edit to change your goal, fundraiser end date, and description. Step 5. Once you are done editing your fundraiser basics, click Create. Your fundraiser is now live and ready to accept donations. Your 6th and final step is to post it to your Facebook feed. Invite your Facebook friends to your fundraiser, make a donation yourself, and/or share your fundraiser via email or on other personal pages. All money raised through your fundraiser supports the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute and helps to keep President Reagan's values and principles alive. Your money supports our education programs and college scholarships, our digital and in-person events, our traveling exhibitions, and so much more. Get started today.
But if the Reagan Library is anything like its counterparts, most of those who enter these doors will not be academics. No, they will be ordinary people of all ages, backgrounds, and political persuasions, eager to examine their past and explore a history not always learned in school. For them, this institution will be a time capsule of American growth and greatness, covering more than a single presidency, honoring more than a single president. Here, visitors will have a chance to tour and study at their leisure the accelerating changes in a fast-forward world. They will be able to trace the historic process by which mankind has stepped back from the narrow window ledge of mutually assured destruction.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome to this month's Live From. Remember, we do these on the first Wednesday of every month. Now, it's absolutely crazy that I'm saying that the Reagan Museum has been closed for 13 months now. But with the rapidly declining cases of COVID-19 in California, and the fact that Los Angeles, Orange County, and Ventura counties are all now officially in the orange tier, I think I can pretty safely say that I think we are weeks away from opening, maybe like 6 to 8 weeks. So really exciting. I encourage you to please keep checking our homepage at reaganlibrary.com, because the minute we have an opening date, we're going to post that right there on our homepage. Won't be hard to find. So again, please check reaganlibrary.com as often as you can, because we're going to have an opening date for you real soon. Now, back in October, when we thought we were going to open in November, we did a live from where we shared with you some of our protocols of reopening. We're going to go over those again with you today, since now we actually are so close to opening. But we also wanted to share information about our brand new Abrams M1 Tank that you'll get to see when you come here. And because we're having such a great time answering your questions at the end of every episode, we're going to do that too. So while I'm talking, if you have any questions about the Reagan Library or Ronald Reagan or anything that we've talked about today, please just go on to this Facebook page, of course, that you're watching it on, go into the comment section and ask your question. So, again, if you watch some of our live froms, you might recall that we've shown you footage and talked about our F-14 fighter jet and our F-117 stealth fighter jet. Now, I don't think you can see them right now, but they're directly to my left. The F-14 is right here, and the F-117 is right there. And we talk about how they showcase President Reagan's Peace Through Strength initiative. And they sit on our Peace Pavilion here at the Reagan Library. Well, in December of 2020, we added this Abrams M1 mainline battle tank to our collection. That is now here for viewing once we reopen. The Abrams tank was designed and built by Chrysler Defense, which is now General Dynamics. They were built and designed in the late 1970s and then went into service by the U.S. Army in February of 1980. The Abrams tank was named after the United States Army General Creighton Williams Abrams Jr. He commanded military operations in Vietnam, and then he went on to become the U.S. Army's Chief of Staff from 1972 until his passing in 1974. The Abrams tank was built specifically for modern ground warfare, and weighing in at almost 62 metric tons is one of the heaviest battle tanks currently being used. Now, I mentioned it's part of our discussion here at the Reagan Library about Ronald Reagan's Peace Through Strength initiatives. And in fact, in 1982, Ronald Reagan delivered remarks to Congress. And during those remarks, he was talking about the importance for military buildup to ensure peace through strength. And during those remarks, he specifically asked for more rapid production of the Abrams M1 tanks. So when we do reopen, of course, you're going to come to the Reagan Library, you're going to tour museum galleries, but we highly encourage you to not just tour inside the museum, but to also stroll our entire outdoor grounds. Because in addition to seeing the Berlin Wall and, of course, President and Mrs. Reagan's memorial site, you'll see the F-14 fighter jet, you'll see the F-117 stealth fighter jet, and you will get to see our Abrams M1 tank. But of course, to do that, we need to reopen. So we thought we'd spend a little bit of time talking with you and reminding you what our protocols will be once we reopen. But you hear enough of me, from me chattering, so we thought we'd invite a guest today. So to tell us about how we're gonna reopen, we have invited Lori. Come on in, Lori. She's our Director of Visitor Services. Welcome to our podcast. Will you share with our viewers what a Director of Visitor Services does on a normal basis?
Yes, well, during the regular year, in a solid year, we may welcome as many as 400,000 visitors, and of that, as many as 40,000 are students that are combined between the Discovery Center and the museum. And then we also have tour groups who come in buses from all around the country, and we may have, most of our visitors are individuals and family groups, but we also have a membership department, and the membership department takes care of signing up our visitors who come in so that they can visit all the NARA libraries around the country, and for a year you can get in free to all of the NARA libraries if you're a member, and you just pay a small additional charge, and we have a special exhibit. But the Visitor Services Department also handles all of the groups that come in. We welcome them out at the curb, we book them through our department so that they can come in and have a kind of a seamless experience when they arrive, and we're appropriately staffed to welcome quite a few visitors every year.
Now that makes a lot of sense when we're open, but we've been closed for 13 months. So what have you been doing the past 13 months?
Well, the first thing we did is we do have a very solid catalog. We've got over 30,000 active members, and so we reached out to them individually, either via telephone or email or both, just to check in and see how they're doing and how they've handled the crisis as it began and how they've adapted as the year has gone on. So we have maintained continuous contact with those members throughout the year, and so that took a lot of manpower to get in touch with all those people. And then in the past month or two, as things have started looking up for California and Southern California, then we started the reopening protocols. So that has also, we're restaffing the departments so that we're ready for the time when we are able to reopen.
Well, that's great. So when the museum does reopen, of course, the museum will be the same. It will continue to share the life and legacy of Ronald Reagan, as well as the American presidency as a whole. But although the museum itself is still telling the same story and is the same, how will front desk operations in the museum shift to accommodate these new COVID protocols?
Well, we've had a plexiglass enclosure placed around the admissions desk, so that'll protect both the staff and the visitors. And all of our staff will be wearing masks and will be adhering to all the COVID protocols. We'll have hand sanitizing stations everywhere. We'll have a touchless credit card system set up so that the guests can just swipe their own card outside the plexiglass. We'll have social distancing stickers throughout the museum and galleries, and so those are some of the things that we're doing that we wouldn't have done prior to March of 2020.
So you and I have discussed that we're getting super close to opening.
Right.
We're really excited by it. We trade emails every day about, did you see this story? Did you see that story? When can we reopen? So can someone who's watching right now go online on reaganlibrary.com and purchase a ticket?
Today they can't, but as soon as we have a reopen date and our system is back up and running, then you will not only be able to, but that is the only way that you can get admission into the museum, because you used to be able to walk in at the time and date of your choosing and just purchase, but we are requiring that all visitors purchase tickets in advance, and that does include members. So that's very different from before. Members used to be able to just walk right in, because typically if we didn't have an exhibit, they wouldn't have to pay a charge and they could just come in and just check in on the member side. But even members will need to reserve a space when we do have our website up and running again.
And that's a really good point. And just the reason for that, if you're kind of wondering why, is because we need to, at least when we first open, make sure that we're keeping at the capacities that California state levels allow us to have. And by enforcing advanced tickets, we can make sure that there will never be too many people in the galleries at any one given time. Right. So thank you, Lori, so much for joining us today. I think that was really helpful. Yeah, we really look forward to seeing you all soon. So we're going to shift gears now. The last handful of live froms, we've been talking at the end of each one, sharing some of the items in our museum store that fit the theme of that month's live from. And because this month is Peace Through Strength, we thought we might share some of the items from our store that you might be interested in purchasing to kind of take that theme into your home. The first is this great faux leather Peace Through Strength leather bomber jacket that we sell in our store. Now, it's a really warm jacket. It's pretty hot out here and I'm sweating. But the great thing about this leather jacket is that it comes in children's sizes and it comes in adult sizes. So for reference sake, I'm 5'4". I'm actually wearing the children's extra large. The sleeves are a little short, but it fits perfectly. And the sizes go, I think, all the way up to an adult extra large, if not bigger. It's a great gift. It has an F-14 patch, a Reagan Library patch, it has a Peace Through Strength patch, an American flag, and of course the Reagan Library presidential seal. Just a really great item to add to your collection. Some of the other items we have, of course, President Reagan believes so strongly in our military, which is why we have this Peace Through Strength initiative here at the Reagan Library. But of course, he believed fervently in the men and women who wore our uniform, and then the veterans who had retired from the military. So we sell this great Reagan Library United States Veterans hat that I would highly recommend adding to your collection, whether it's for you or for a loved one. And then, you know, we're talking about California mandates and capacity levels and hand sanitizers and all the different things that you are going to have to do. And if you're following California guidelines, they actually came out yesterday. It's pretty exciting news that Governor Newsom believes that as of June 15th, all restrictions in California are going to go away on businesses, meaning no more capacity levels. You can have events, you can have your museums at normal capacities. But that said, the mask mandate is staying. So super, super important that you have a mask. I know everyone has a mask, but you know, why not add some to your collection? The Reagan Library Museum Store sells a lot of different choices, but this is one of my favorites, Trust But Verify. It's one of President Reagan's favorite things he used to say to Mikhail Gorbachev, but I think it's kind of fun in this era of COVID that you trust that you're safe, but you should always verify, so a mask is a great thing to have. And then the other interesting item or items is the museum store sells a ton, this is just a small sample, a ton of models that you can purchase and or put together. So whether it's a hobby of yours, of your child's, of someone in your family, just a small example. We just got in our new Abrams M1 Tank model to go with what's over my shoulder here. Again, you can't see the F-117 fighter jet, which is right in front of me, but we have that model. Of course, we have Air Force One. We even have the USS Ronald Reagan. So just some great fun options in our store. Now, the past handful of live froms, we've talked about the items in our store, and we recommend, and we still do, that you go to reaganlibrary.com/store, scroll down just a little bit to the featured product section, and you'll find all of these items for about a week or so. That's still the case. So reaganlibrary.com/store, scroll down to featured items, and you'll find these items. However, I wanted to also share with you that about a month ago, we launched a brand new store on Amazon. We're super excited. Really easy to find. It's amazon.com/Ronald Reagan. We're adding new products every day. I think there's probably 2 to 3 dozen up there right now. Most of these products are on there. But what's great about it is you are getting all this amazing Reagan Library product with the ease and simplicity of shopping on amazon.com. So you will find most of these items on amazon.com/Ronald Reagan. Of course, you'll find all of the items on reaganlibrary.com/store. So we highly recommend go and take a look at these or some of the others. If you're on the reaganlibrary.com/store site, you can actually search by topics and you can find a lot of these different items, not just that I've spoken about, but other ones that fit this theme as well. So now we've come to that point in our live from where we take your questions. It's always one of my favorite parts. So I just have to open up our Facebook page, which it doesn't say it wants to open, but I will find it and I will get to it. So if you have any questions, please just go right now down to the comment section while I retry and load it because it doesn't want to open. I'm so sorry. Go back to our comment, below to comments, any questions you might have about the Reagan Library. Again, we hope to open in the next 6 to 8 weeks. As soon as we have an opening date, we will list that on our website, reaganlibrary.com, as well as all the information about COVID. And to be honest with you, I may not be able to take your questions today because it will not load. So, you know, the joy of technical difficulties. I'm going to try one more time. I'm really sorry. And I'm just being told via text that we're not even live. So I don't know if anyone is seeing this, but I'm being told we're getting calls at the office that no one's seeing anything on our Facebook page. But I'm going to keep rambling in case this can get set up at some time. But we are not live. So I guess it's okay that I can't find your questions. So we will just wrap this up. If you did ask a question, I will go on to our Facebook page after and go ahead and answer them on the Facebook page itself. Once I find it, I don't know why it's not loading on my phone. We'll make sure we get all of your questions answered. We want to thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we know you have so many options out there to watch content, to view content, to be engaged with companies, and the fact that you tune in every month and watch these live froms means so much to us. If you subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Reagan Foundation, you'll always be notified whenever we have new content, which is almost daily. And when we come to you next month in May live, my bet is we're just going to be 2 or 3 weeks away from opening. So we'll be able to share that information with you then as well. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I hope at some point this posts on YouTube and you see it. Until next time, we'll see you later. Thank you.
My fondest hope is that Americans will travel the road, extending forward from the arch of experience, never forgetting our heroic origins, never failing to seek divine guidance, as we march boldly, bravely into a future limited only by our capacity to dream. May every day be a new beginning, and every dawn bring us closer to that shining city upon a hill. Thank you. God bless you all, and God bless America.